Hello guys, welcome back, Raul here. Today I'm going to be talking about the real meaning of being fit. I want to talk about this subject because there is so many myths out there in the fitness industry telling you what fitness is or being fit means. And I consider this information is very important not only for you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, but to have the mindset and the preparation, mental and the physical and mental preparation for you to be able to sustain the results that you want for the rest of your life. To understand what I mean by this, let's have a look at the figure we have or the graph that we have on the screen. So at the top of the pyramid, we have your end goal, or what you will see as what fitness or being fit means for you. So as a main goal, I know that you want to have a lower body fat percentage and an acceptable muscular appearance, depending on how much body fat you want to lose or how much of muscle gain do you want to achieve. That is obviously depending on every individual and their goals and their ideal about what being fit means. But achieving that fitness comes further than just appearance. It's basically, as you see on your screen, the tip of the iceberg. To achieve that ideal physique, it is important to create sustainable habits. Those habits are related to your training, to your nutrition, and to your mindset. But you can only achieve that sustainability with total fitness. Total fitness is the foundation of that sustainability and the goals that you want to achieve to become fit. So let me tell you what is total fitness. Total fitness can be defined by how well the body performs in each one of the components of physical fitness as a whole. I'm sure you heard about the components of the physical fitness before, but in this video I want to point out that these 5 elements have to be present in our program. Some are more important than others, and some will have more priority depending on your goals and depending on your fitness level. The first element is cardiovascular endurance. Cardiovascular endurance is the ability of the heart and lungs to work together to provide the needed oxygen and fuel to the body during sustained workloads. This element is very important, for example, for an athlete that runs long distances. The second element is muscular strength. Muscular strength is just the amount of force that a muscle can produce. This component is very important, for example, for an Olympic lifter. It is definitely important if you want to gain lean muscle mass, and it is still important, but not at the same scale if you are looking to lose body fat. The third element is muscular endurance. Muscular endurance is the ability of the muscles to perform continuously without fatiguing. Muscular endurance is really important for a CrossFitter, for example, and I will say is equally important for someone who's looking to lose body fat and gain lean muscle mass. The fourth element is flexibility or mobility. Flexibility is the ability of each joint to move through the available range of motion for a specific joint. I will say this is the most overlooked element of all. Flexibility is really important, for example, for a gymnast or a dancer. It is important in terms of a range of motion and injury prevention when you are looking to lose body fat. But it's very important if you are looking to gain muscle mass, because by gaining muscle mass, you will lose flexibility if you don't include flexibility or mobility exercises or routines in your workouts. Plus, by nature, we as humans lose flexibility and mobility with aging. And the last component is body composition. Body composition is the proportion of fat and no fat mass in your body. A healthy body composition is one that includes a lower percentage of body fat and a higher percentage of non-fat mass, which includes muscles, bones, and organs. This is directly related to your goal and is a really useful tool to monitor your progress and understanding your level of fitness. Body composition differs depending on your body type, your genetics, your lifestyle, but this can be altered or improved with training. Athletes have different body compositions depending on the discipline. For example, a short distance athlete have a higher muscle mass percentage due to the nature of their discipline and their training, opposite to an athlete who runs long distances. For example, they have a much lower muscle mass percentage, again due to the conditions or the characteristics of their discipline and their training. So let me tell you now, how do I make sure that your program is promoting total fitness, and how do you make sure that in the future you make the right decisions to make sure that you keep working on your total fitness? So let me tell you about 5 elements that I consider important in order for you to build that strong base and foundation to get your results and sustain them for the rest of your life. So the first element we have to take into account is individuality. An effective program is only the one that is designed for you, because every individual is different and everyone reacts different to exercise and to nutrition. So your program needs to reflect that, and that's why it's so important to monitor your progress and your performance. I always suggest you to be tracking your stats as minimum every month, and if you don't see the progress that you desire or you were expecting, it is important to make decisions in order to accelerate the process or correct whatever is necessary in order for you to keep progressing. So talking about individuality, if you are someone who's looking to lose body fat, for example, but your cardiovascular endurance is not the best, I will introduce on the early phase of your training program some activities to develop your cardiovascular endurance that is gonna allow us to improve it first and then get the results that we want. But that same method might be not useful for someone else who has different goals or different fitness levels. The second element is specificity. The training stimulus must be specific to the desired outcome. Training must be specific to the individual goals. So using the same example for the person who is looking to lose body fat but doesn't have a good cardiovascular endurance base, it is specific to this person the need of developing that cardiovascular base because it's related to their goal. The third element is overload. For adaptation to occur, the volume of exercise must overload the body in some way, in line with the capacity of the individual to cope with that overload. For continual adaptation, overload must be progressive. That means the dose of exercise must increase. Of course, in the same way, when you are improving your fitness, your overload needs to increase as well. And this is where the 6 to 12 and the 12 to 15 principle work really well to apply overload on your training. But overload does not mean only extra weight or extra resistance. We can apply different overloads, for example, with different tempo prescriptions and with different resting times. The next element is variety. For optimal adaptation and to avoid plateau, overuse, and injury, the exercise stimulus must be varied. This does not simply mean changing exercises all the time. Variety allows recovery and reduces the risk of injury. That's why you have a 2-week cycle on your training program regarding of your goal, and allows you as well to have fun, not to get bored of doing the same every time, and to learn new methods and new exercises. And the last element is the one known as FIT, F-I-T-T. F for frequency, I for intensity, T for time, and the second T is type. So frequency is how often you perform a session. Someone who's looking to lose body fat is going to have a higher frequency on cardio training than someone who is looking to gain lean muscle mass. I for intensity. So depending on the stage of your training program, intensity plays a different part. So obviously for a beginner, intensity is going to be lower and it's going to progress with time. T for time. So this is really crucial as well, and is very different in terms of the area of the fitness that we want to attack at any stage of your training program. Time is for how long do you perform a certain exercise or the session itself. Muscular strength and hypertrophy training are shorter exercises or sets by nature comparing to fat loss methods. And the second T for type. So yes, depending on your goal and depending on the fitness element that we want to attack, the type of exercise is going to be different. Now let me talk to you about some myths that surround the world of gaining muscle mass and losing body fat. I receive so many questions every day regarding this subject, so I decided to put some of those questions in this video with the answers. So the first myth: muscle can turn into fat and vice versa. The two are entirely different tissues and can magically morph into each other. However, if you stop working out, your fat cells will get bigger and your muscle fibers will shrink. And that's why people get so confused. Muscle weighs more than fat. A pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat, right? The right thing to say is that muscle is denser than fat. It will take 4 pounds of muscle to fit the space of 1 pound of fat. That's why you can't rely on the scales only, or you can't rely only on what the measure tape is telling you. Next myth: eating fat makes you fat. No, it is eating more calories than the ones that you use every day what makes you fat. Healthy fats like fish, avocados, olives contain important nutrients like omega-3, omega-6 that are important for our health. This is one of the most popular ones. You can spot reduced fat. When your body needs energy, it pulls from all of your fat cells, not just the areas that you want. In other words, to lose fat from any place, you have to lose fat from everywhere. Another sad truth: the first place where you gain fat typically is the last place you will lose it. When you put fat on easily in one area, it means your body is best able to store it there. The good news: if you want to increase volume, you can build lean muscle mass. And the last one: you can't gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. Yes, you can. That's why we are here. To shed fat, you have to burn more calories than you take in. But when you do that, your body also burns some muscle. As a result, it's common to lose muscle mass as you lose weight. The way to prevent this is to eat more protein. That's why if we are building lean muscle mass and we want to keep our fat percentage in control, it is important to have a low carb and high protein diet. This is it, guys. This is everything I have to say about the meaning of being fit. If you have any questions about this subject, please let me know. Enjoy your day, your week, and I'll see you on the next one.